If I can just get your attention, please. We're going to now move on to the actual presentation part of our luncheon. Once again, Odie McKinley is going to be speaking to us, and if you please give him a warm welcome, and after he speaks, please all let's go out and take a look at these gorgeous new trucks. So, thank you all.
So before I get started, I generally don't like using audio. Can everybody hear me? Is the audio okay without the amplified sound? We're good? Great. So thank you, Bill. Thank you, Sama. I was here a year ago introducing the new Colorado, the 2015. So it's a great honor and pleasure for me to be back here a year later and announce a new powertrain in that Colorado. Don't get me wrong, we've been doing a lot for the past year, and I'll talk about that, but for the most part, I'm here to talk about Chevrolet trucks. So, 3 years ago, we launched the new Silverado. We had one goal, and that was simply come to market aggressively, seeking out what the customer is looking for in their product, from the mainstay Silverado to the Silverado Heavy Duty, and then also introducing the 2015 Chevrolet Colorado. With the introduction of that product, it brought us to a level where we had 3 trucks to meet customers' needs, and no other automotive manufacturer could say that. But Chevrolet is on a roll. Chevrolet truck pickup sales are up 32% this year as a nameplate, as a brand. Year over year, that's a monster number. And again, going back to our strategy that said, let's bring 3 trucks to market that meets the customer's demand. Chevy trucks across the portfolio share true Chevy DNA. Fully boxed frame, intensive use of high-strength steel, technologies on the outside that were first introduced on the Silverado, the rear corner bumper assist step, easy lift and lower tailgate, moving inside technologies, 4G LTE, available wireless Wi-Fi hotspots, and the list goes on. But one thing remains true, the DNA runs through all 3 trucks. The breadwinner, the big truck, the big segment, the Silverado, it itself is up 17% in sales this year. Again, a major, major number. And what drove that is bringing a product to the market that met the customer's needs. Just a moment ago you saw that the Chevrolet Silverado was awarded or voted as the highest ranking full-size truck by IQS. Very important industry award for the Silverado, and I would be remiss not to announce it. But just this summer, we decided and revealed the all-new Chevrolet Silverado, the new face of Strong. As you can see in this picture, what we did on the vehicle from an exterior perspective, all new grille, all new headlamp units, all new hood. This brings the Silverado into a family of 7 trim levels, all of which have a unique face, new headlamp assemblies, and new grille designs to meet the varying design aspiration needs of the customer. In this picture right here is the LTZ Z71, 100% use of LED lights, both front and back, headlamps, parking, DRLs, and assist lights. But we didn't just change the inside. We brought the use of our 8-speed transmission down to the 5.3 liter V8. Again, with the lighting, the IntelliBeam lighting, lockable power tailgate, and we added some safety features as well, both lane keep assist and forward collision control. The truck was outside. Great new feature that we've added onto the higher trim levels of the Silverado is the power articulating assist steps. We're all familiar with power assist steps where when I open the door, Power actuator moves the assist steps out, ease of in and out, or entry and egress out of the cab. Not an uncommon feature or technology on trucks, luxury SUVs across the board. With this, we took it to the next step. So you walk out of your cab, or you get out of your cab, power assist steps drop out. I need to get something out of the back of the bed. There's a foot button, activates, and it shifts the assist steps back 12 inches, almost to the rear wheel. So now I can leverage that assist step to move into the bed. I really recommend seeing it in action. I can describe it as well as I can try, but to see the benefit of that articulation really is customer driven. Excuse me. Also, with the 2016 Chevrolet, we introduced, based on our successes on 4G LTE, the Wi-Fi available hotspot, and Apple CarPlay. In the next few months, we'll also be able to offer Android Auto, and what this allows is everyone is continuing to be more and more dependent on their on their phone, for contacts, for messaging, for navigation, whatever it is you use. Via CarPlay and Android Auto, it projects it onto your MyLink screen in your vehicles. Silverado Heavy Duty. This is where the work gets done. With this truck, our goal was simple. Make the tough work easier. It too has had success in sales this year, up just over 17%. Continuing acceleration through this segment is what drives our business, both light duty and heavy duty. Fortunately, we don't have one here today, but we have them in the fleet, and we'll cycle them through as needed. 2/3 of our heavy duty trucks boast this powertrain, the Duramax 6.6 liter diesel. Mated with the Allison transmission, it accounts for about 66% of our sales. We've been in the diesel business for a long time, and we do it well. We've sold over 1.5 million diesel engines, and they continue to get better, more powerful, more fuel efficient, and clean. The success of that Duramax, the dependability and the durability of the Duramax, is what led to the Duramax winning the government contract for the Joint Light Tactical Vehicle. So this is the H1 in military application replacement, and this will boast the Duramax diesel. But again, last year I announced the 2015 Colorado, and I walked you through a lot of the details, why we did it, the opportunity we saw in the segment, some performance aspects, some design aspects, some customer aspects. None of those have changed. Everything has actually been reinforced that what we did and why we did it is proving to be a success. We have our facility in Wentzville, Missouri, operating 24/7, trying to meet the customer's demands. And the dealers are knocking down our door to try to build more. If anyone knows how to push more metal out of a plant, we're all ears because we are at capacity, and quite honestly above capacity. Excuse me. But to recap what the Colorado was, is an introduction and a definitive redefining of a segment. As launched, there were 2 products in this segment. Both have done very well, but both have they've become long in the tooth. Now, the Tacoma just recently launched, but at the time of the launch, the competitive set was about 10 years old. So we saw the segment shrinking. A lot of naysayers said, well, why are you getting back into a shrinking segment? I said, we don't believe the segment shrinking because people don't see a need for these trucks. We said they don't have a viable option to buy, right? Technologies were behind in this segment. Refinement, ride handling, just weren't up to speed. People were leaving for mid-sized cars, they were leaving for mid-sized crossovers because customers had come to expect certain levels of refinement. It wasn't available. Enter the Colorado, enter the Canyon, the segment explodes. The mid-size truck segment as a whole is up 50%. 50% because of the introduction. It revitalized the segment, and the Colorado Canyon led that way. Now with the Tacoma coming out, we expect the same thing to happen, right? Introduce people to a segment that they didn't remember or they forgot about. But from our side of the business, it's introducing customers to the Chevrolet brand that would have never thought about it because they're a mid-sized truck buyer and we weren't playing in that space. Current sales of our Colorado, almost 50% of them are new to the GM brand. 43% of them are new to the Chevrolet brand. So we are attracting new customers into showroom floors. We couldn't be any more pleased. Year one is behind us in sales success, and we're not resting on our laurels. Just a few weeks ago, we launched the 2.8 liter Duramax diesel in the Colorado, and it has been extremely favorably received by both customers and dealers that have been media and dealers that have spent time behind the wheel. We've got 3 out here today. I can't wait for you to experience the refinement and the power of this power plant. It is a torquey engine, 369 pound-feet of torque. It increases our already segment-leading payload from 7,000 to 7,700. 181 horsepower, gets you down the road. The torque, you're gonna love. Aiding in the success of the Colorado over the past year are some of the special editions that we brought to market. Starting with the Gear On edition, then moving to the 15 Trail Boss. Next was the 16 Midnight edition, which is available for order now. And shown here, the 2016 Trail Boss. This is an example of what our production level off-road vehicle is and can be. It is a hoot to drive off-road. There's a number of different attributes, primarily from a performance perspective, the tires and wheels. The diesel gives it that torque for on-road and off-road fun. And it just is another example of us bringing out a playbook to meet the needs of our customer, whether it's styling, whether it's performance, or whether it's size. I hate being the guy in between lunch and then the activity, so I'll keep it short. But in short, Chevrolet is on a roll. We have brought 3 trucks to market with a very simple strategy. Provide the right size, the right technologies, the right materials, and the right powertrains to appeal to what the customers have told us and provide a product for them. With that, I would love to field any questions that may be out there.
I've got one, Odie.
Yes, sir.
When I spoke with Larry for Moon Track, he talked about getting in excess of 30 miles per gallon on
Is there a question mark at the end of that?
the highway. How much in excess? I mean, that's astonishing mileage for a truck.
You know, EPA hasn't come back with their final certifications. However, 30 miles per gallon is very, very aligned with what a lot of the folk out at our media drive were experiencing. Some considerably higher, and then obviously certainly the availability for lower.
Yeah, it's incredible.
Yeah.
How much more money is the diesel engine than the gasoline engine?
So if you were to take a comparably equipped
Right.
V6
Yes.
and uptick to the premium diesel, it would be $3,730. So $3,730 is the diesel powertrain premium. Yep. Now, with all trucks, as you look from an LT to a Z71, right, the configuration, all that changes, but powertrain to powertrain.
Yeah. 3,000.
Yep.
Was the diesel developed totally internally by GM in the US, or is there, say, some Isuzu input?
No, well, yes and no. It was developed, designed, engineered, and developed by GM, but it was done out of our Thailand market. It was originally developed for a global Colorado. which we all know is a different vehicle. And it has two diesel powertrain options, one of which is the 2.8 liter. And when we re-engineered that vehicle to bring it to the US for the US application in Colorado, still remained our Duramax DNA.
Okay, but that Thai Colorado, I think was also an Isuzu rebadged version, if I'm not mistaken.
There is a rebadged Isuzu version, yes.
Okay, does that mean there was some Isuzu input originally in that diesel?
So going back with diesel development, going back 2 iterations now, there was the Vehementori involvement. Yep.
Is there a diesel coming for the 100, for the 150, for 1500?
Oh, at this point, we've got our bevy of gas power engines, and we're not looking to put a diesel in our light side or our mid side. Excuse me, our light duty.
The mid-size segment, you say the top 50%?
As a whole.
As a whole.
Correct.
Well, the pickups in general, or?
Not the good one.
Actually, that's a question I can't answer. I don't know the answer to all brand, all size. I don't know the answer to that. I know that
Do
we're
I get a prize?
Oh, Lord, no, don't do that, right to his head. Just on recap, because you did throw out the numbers and I didn't write them down, but you did talk about the difference in price between the V6 and the diesel. What's the horsepower and torque numbers comparably from the 6 to the diesel?
Yep. So horsepower on the Let's Go diesel is 181 and 369.
Okay.
On the V6 is 269 and 305. I transpose those numbers. I apologize. Horsepower, apples to apples, is 181 diesel, 305 V6.
Okay.
Torque, 369 diesel and 269 V6.
Wow. Very cool.
Yep.
Thank you.
No, on the diesel, it's low in the RPM. It's only about 1,000, where the torque really gets to work.
Yeah, a lot lower than.
Yep, much higher. Yep. the torque.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
I know there's, say, a Trailblazer derivative of Global Colorado. Any thoughts, any rumblings, any interest on that coming to the States?
We do have a Trailblazer that we do sell in our Asian markets, and it's very successful. At this time, we don't have any plans to bring it across, but as consumer interest changes, product down the road, who knows what opportunities are on the table.
How big of a market is the trucks for Florida or in South Florida?
So South Florida is actually our number 4 market, followed as state behind California, Texas, well, in order, Texas, California, New York State, and Florida. So the mid-size truck segment as a whole, of which we just mirror, obviously, is very much the east and west coasts and the Gulf region, for a couple different reasons. Generally very active demographics, also generally a very urban setting. So while someone needs the flexibility and versatility of a truck, a full-size truck just might not be an option. So that's why the market share really skews out towards the coasts. Well, in the words of Pepe, 1, 2, 3, it's it. All right. So, the boys and the gentlemen with Prestige, if you have not signed your safe driver form, please do so. Outside, we have 3 Colorados and a Silverado to explore. Please leverage Fred and I's experience with the products, and we'd love to be able to get that.
Thank you.
Hello, please, happy birthday to Pepe.